4-2 formation. Road change, down we go, racing for the first time this season. 3 hours of GT action, it's go.
It's very tight as they come down. Group of cars coming in, this has all got trouble written all over it. This is G3 cars.
Drop downhill there, head towards the Aqua Minerale. Imola, of course. There's another one off through the gravel. As wide as possible as they drop downhill, put it back from the inside line. Yes, he did. Through he goes.
Good evening and welcome to round 6 of AOR Season 10, or X as we're now calling it, Tier 1. It's a speedy boys round Laguna Seca. Turn 1's going to be interesting tonight. I'm RayJay1 and I'm joined by the ever-elusive Jamie Ellis, TwinBarrelJay. I've heard on the grapevine, whenever he comes to Laguna Seca, he likes to ride wild wallabies out through the start-finish line every single time. Is that right, Jamie?
It is, yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
I don't know where they come from at Laguna Seca. Obviously, bring them over from Bathurst with them, but yeah, it's just the most fun you can have with a wallaby.
I mean, yeah, exactly. It has to be the most fun you can have with a wallaby. 100%. I've just realised exactly what you've told me. Unfortunately, the tier...
I wondered when you might.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll just change it to Tier 1. There's no problem at all. But anyway, there we go. We'll save that and we'll change it on the description. Never mind. Okay, well, we've got lots of action to catch up on, and I'll just quickly remove this so we can get straight on into it. Have we gone into qualifying just yet? I don't think we have, no. We're still waiting for that. So we'll get into that as soon as it goes into the live race. Never mind. Let's move on quickly. It says Tier 2, but it's actually the layover for Tier 1, so it's my fault. I mistakenly got it all confused. Right, so let's have a look at the standings from where we were last week. Obviously, we had a thrilling race last time out at Suzuka. Luke Whitehead claiming first position there, which was absolutely fantastic to see. His second win of the season, and it's clearly put him right in the very top end of the season standings. 349 points, and second place there, Black Gold Saw, was all at sea. We didn't actually touch on that in the debrief. Apparently he had some very a couple of issues going into the qualifying with tyres. Apparently qualified, or at least opened up his not qualified, started the race on the wrong tyre. He took a risk, and unfortunately it didn't come off for him. But now it's massively affected the standings. 287 points is Black Gold Saw in second. That's a huge gap, 349 to 287 points. So 60 odd points there, gap between Black Gold Saw and Luke Whitehead in first and second position. So Luke's in a fantastic position this season. Trevor Wenham in third place. He had a disaster, obviously coming off the back of a little bit of an issue, wasn't it? Netcode we put it down to, was that right?
I believe so. Yep.
Yeah.
It's it looks a very close instant either way, but yeah, Netcode has been the blame has been apportioned at the foot of its door.
Yeah.
But we'll never quite know on that one.
Yeah, we'll never quite know, like you say. I think Luke had a couple of different views from different positions, and Netcode I think was determined it was the issue. It was never brought up in race control, so I think it was all good, all good. Valentin Barrier and Grantis Caracas, they're the guys fighting for 4th and 5th currently. Grantis is winning that with 272 points, but we've got Valentin Barrier very close there in 5th place, 266 points. The gap, actually, from 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th is incredibly close, and 6th, actually. Igor, the Russian, in 249 points in 6th place. Then we've got Darren King, who's had a really good rise to form. First place and a 2nd place out last time in Suzuka. That's earned him 7th place in the standings so far. Jura Petchenko, I think we put the blame on him for that absolutely horrendous rejoin last time, unfortunately. But yeah, he's back and he's with us. He is currently in 8th place. And then Hardier, the other YouTuber that we got taking part here, 2nd place is his highest this time around, and he currently is sat in 9th place, rounding up the top 10. We haven't seen much of him. It's Marcin Olyars. Always there, but never winning. It's a Honda NSX, though, so fantastic. Highest finishing position for him is 6th place so far. Well, Laguna Seca, anything can go wrong into turn 1, and I think it will. I would be very surprised if we don't have any incidents.
Anything can go wrong, and it has for me.
Oh, no.
Well, my game's locked up, and I can't quit it.
Okay. Maybe a control alt delete already needed.
Not working.
Well, control alt delete not working.
Yeah, I think it's working. I'll be back momentarily. Sorry about this.
We'll see you very shortly. Oh dear, never mind. Okay, let's pop open the live chat. See if we've got anybody sitting there waiting. There we go, lovely. Yeah, weird. The stream just normally we start it and it's all good to go, but no one ended the last stream, so we're carrying on. It's still under the same thing. Never mind. Right, we are in qualifying at the moment. Currently, we're on board with Angel, but we will just jump on over to the top boys that we need to concentrate on. Black Gold Saw, one of those, currently going through turns 13. I think it's the final turn, crossing over the line. Is it 13? How many have we got here? 11. Turn 11. Let's go on board, actually. Black Gold Saw braking at the 2.5, is it? Lovely job. Gets the car turned in perfectly. This used to be an old haunt for the Porsche, so be very impressed to see these Porsches perform today. I think they definitely will. 100%. Sorry about the confusion this afternoon in regards to the stream. Just editing them around, so we've now got the correct wording on each stream. We'll get that sorted out. So, yeah, we had 4 people waiting, actually, in the other stream. So, sorry about the issues. I'll get those sorted out. So, it says Tier 2 for next time. There we go. Tier 2. Lovely jubbly. Yeah, not too sure what happened there. Anyway, we're all sorted and we're live. Thank you. Right, Black Gold Sword currently lapping round at 121.5. Fantastic start there. Luke Whitehead is in second place just behind. We missed them all coming across the line on their first lap. Matthias Kuhn already a tenth or two up on his last time. We'll stay with this man, see if he can make improvements. Porsches at the top, it seems. I think it'll be a very Porsche day today. It's Porsche 1, 2, 3, 4 currently separated by 7 tenths. And we've got Matthias up on his time. 3 tenths it is at the moment. He's going for a fast lap, which we'll keep focused on for now. Good stuff. Matthias. Whereabouts is he in the championship at the moment? Currently 16th place, 110 points. And with a lot to prove after what happened last time out in Suzuka. Had a few incidences. Wasn't all fun and games for him, unfortunately. I think he maybe just caught the bad end of a few incidences. But he'll be looking to make amends this time out. He's going to come around and he's probably going to claim pole here, maybe second or third. Let's see, Matthias, third place for Matthias, 2 tenths off the current leading time from Black Gold Sword. Looks like Luke Whitehead got his work cut out this afternoon. Black Gold Sword currently up on his time, but not by much. We'll keep an eye on what the man from Race Anywhere SimSport can put down. Marcus Lawrence here to cheer on his man. We are live and on board with Black Gold Sword currently. Marcin Oljar up 1 tenth. Gert Fischer up 2, currently in 9th place. Grantis Caracas up 2 tenths, currently in 10th place. We'll concentrate on where they finish, see if they move up. Are you back with us, Jay?
But my game's not launching.
What's that, sorry?
I am, but my game's not launching.
Ah, lovely. Okay.
Just trying to. I think it's working.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Just did. Made no difference.
Okay.
Is normally a solution, not today.
No. Black Gold Sword.
Yeah, I will say,
yes.
Just in reference to what you're just saying, yeah, I think the Hondas are going to be very strong around here. As we've got 2 in the top 6 at the moment. Oljar's very good in practice. So might be able to spring a surprise on those Porsches. Honda back in business around this track.
I hope so. Yeah, Oljar's looking mighty fast. Kieran Prendergast also 6th place. That's the highest qualifying position he's had all season. If he can hold on to that, will be interesting to watch. A 10th up for Matthias Kuhn. Excellent improvement. Only a 10th to go, and he'll be threatening at the top. I want to see a little bit more from Luke Whitehead at the moment. Current championship leader, and by far the fastest man out there at the moment. So we'll keep an eye on what he's doing. Hugo Merler's currently lapping round quite well. Let's see what happens to him. He's a 10th up on his time in 12th place. And Leon Byrne also just behind him in 13th place. He's 2 tenths up back there in 13th place. Let's see what Hugo Merler's can do. Black Gold Sword 10th up on his next time. Oljar's a 10th up. Hewitt Semenensky a 10th up. Luke Whitehead also a 10th up. They're trading blows here. That's all that's in it really at the moment. A 10th or so.
Yeah, it's very small margins as it's been all season long. But I was going to say, you've told me before what Luke Whitehead's like, but do you think he maybe dials it back a little bit this time? I mean, going from his form, he's very much tick-tock in this championship so far. Had a great race, terrible race, great race, terrible race, great race.
Yeah.
So now he's due a terrible race. So maybe you negate that a little bit. But I mean, it's qualifying, so you go for it still, don't you? As 100%. He actually goes quickest now.
Yeah, he does. He improves massively. Hugo Merles also improves up to 6th place. Good stuff for him. 3rd place on the grid. That is 3rd place. Oh my God. 3rd row on the grid. 6th place. Luke Whitehead's paint still not showing, even though I've sent him private messages. Please read them, Luke. They're not showing up on the stream. You need to do something to change it. Anyway, he's only got a race to do that.
They weren't about paint, though.
They weren't. Yeah, well. Anyway, Angel is currently in 3rd place. He was improving, but he's actually he's just come out of the pit now, I think. He's going to be starting another one. Yes, Heat driver currently. His paint scheme also not showing. Confusing. Never mind. Hugo Merles, I think he's just coming out to start a new one. Leon Byrne is improved up to 8th place. You're right. The Hondas are looking mighty fine this afternoon, Jay.
Yep, well, it's Intercontinental Pack track, along with Bathurst. Obviously here at Laguna Seca, Kyle Army and Suzuka, and the BOP is very favourable to the Hondas around those collection of tracks, and 4 of them putting it to very good use at the moment.
Yep, jumped up a position there, 7th place for Leon. Luke Whitehead currently starting his lap He was a 10th over the line there, which seems surprising. Never mind. Anyway.
He has improved. He's now 2 tenths clear.
That'll be
He's gone from 100th clear to a 2 tenths clear from Black Gold Sword. So a much improved lap from Luke Whitehead to further increase his advantage at the top of the pile.
Everyone, I think, has just come into the pit, and they're starting their second phase of qualifying now. We've got lots of boys in the pit here. Felix Hacker, one of those guys that we've been talking about, Jay, from the get-go. Unfortunately, not qualifying where he really deserves to qualify. If this man could just turn it on necessarily where he needs it, he's nearly 2 seconds down on these Porsches currently. I don't know what the bot favours that AMG Mercedes round here, but yeah, if he can just put together that real tight performance that you can do in the race, it would be fantastic if he could do that in qualifying. I apologise for these. I'm going to remove
So
them.
our favourite friends are back in chat.
Yeah, please don't click on those links, guys. I will remove them. No worries.
Can if you want, but it's not advisable.
No.
Yeah, the Mercedes, I mean, I don't know about the bot. It's not a car I would like around here with the rear end on it, especially through the corkscrew. It's probably terrifying. But as we've been talking about, last time out with Felix, he seems to improve at a rate of 10 to 15 positions per race. So by that margin, he just needs to squeak into the top 20 for a top 5 finish.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Yeah, why not? Isn't it meant to get faster the further you get up to the top?
Yeah.
Cartier just coming over the line here. He is 5 tenths up. That's going to put him well up inside the top 15. Oh, he doesn't. 16th place. Never mind. Anyway.
One off. Don't feel too bad.
Yeah.
It was only 3/100ths of a second.
Wasn't too far. Now, this is one man who I've been definitely shouting about. Just Parek. Also known as Calcifer in the sim racing area and arena. He is mighty fast, improving every single race. He was right down at the bottom in the 30s when he first started here in season 10 tier 1, but he's currently running around in 9th place. Calcifer improving, fantastic form. I told you this is one to watch, definitely one to a name to keep a little eye on, because he will be performing inside the top 10 on a more regular basis, definitely. So fantastic qualifying for him there. That was only 8 tenths off Luke Whitehead's fastest achievement. So yeah, good stuff for Calcifer.
Well, that's the thing. With it being such a dominant track for the Porsches, you want to see him a bit closer to that front group, and he's got himself next to... Oh, I'm going to butcher that surname, so I'm not going to try it. The number 67. Is it Vulcan, the first name? There we go. Okay.
Vulcan, we won't say the rest because we
That'll
can't.
help.
Hugo Merles would be on the other side of the sandwich, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but he's matching that, which his top 4 have been so quick and dominant all season that it might take him a bit longer to get up to their pace, but at least matching that other Porsche Vulcan at the moment is good improvement into the top 10. It'll be interesting to see. We've seen him fighting through a little bit this season, but it'll be interesting to see how he does if he can start in that top 10.
Yeah, definitely. If I was him, I would want to just clear a couple of those Hondas because they could cause problematic, but we'll see. Obviously, you've got a line of Honda there, which is a little bit frustrating. Kieran Prendergast dropped down to 11th place. Hasn't quite improved on this second phase of qualifying. We'd like to see him a little higher up. Let's have a look, see what's happening at the top then. Black Gold Sword just about to open up his purse for another time. He's behind Matthias Kuhn, so he can follow the line. Nicely done, not that he needs to, but it will be a nice buffer, isn't it? It's always good to follow, isn't it? Oh, and a wiggle into 3. Definitely not the fastest way there. He will probably be just about on the bubble if he was up anything. He's lost it all. Never mind, pushing it through 4. Good stuff from him, but yeah, not the best way to start, and he has actually abandoned that lap.
Well, the thing is, it can be advantageous to follow, but this part of the track is a bit too busy for any of their liking, I think. And I think they're going to have to just sort themselves out over the next half a lap or so to give themselves one final crack with a bit of space. Because, it's not only traffic, but, that traffic might be half a second to a second difference. So you're always going to put yourself at risk, especially with the speed of someone like Black Gold or of catching someone up. And backing out of it now to try and give himself some space for that final run to see if he can challenge Luke Whitehead, who's improved further. He's at 121.1 now, nearly 4 tenths clear.
That's pretty damn speedy. Well, I think Black Gold Sword will actually get 2 runs at it if he gets across the line now, as where the time's ticking. Matthias Kuhn looks like he gave up that lap to give it another go, but like you say, we've got a gaggle of cars. There's a Honda just behind. I think that's Hubert Simoninski. Let's have a look if it is. No, it's not. It's Marcin Oljars. No, it's not. Liam Byrne. No, it's not. It must be Kieran Prendergast. Is it Kieran? No, it's not. It must be Phillips. Let's have a look. It is indeed.
It's Harry Phillips.
Yeah, Harry Phillips. I haven't seen Harry Phillips, actually. This must be a new entry, or at least a change around. Oh, and Harry Phillips is sideways through 4.
Do you know what I was about to say? I said I hadn't seen him before. I spotted him in practice the moment I read his team name, which was Wild Things Racing, and he span. And the second time I've got on board with him during this session, he's span. Maybe we should just leave him alone to his own devices.
Yeah, I think so.
Kieran Prendergast does improve to... actually, Oljars has now split the Porsches. I was going to say the Honda line is back, but Oljars has moved himself up to 4th place then.
Fantastic. Yeah, we were on board with him as he came across the line there, actually. Sorry, I was too busy getting rid of all the bots, because as much as Tinder Fun, they're saying it's cheaper and fast, I don't think it's going to give you much more than a massive computer virus. Angel, 3rd place, 2nd row on the grid, doing well, 2/10 away. Black Gold Source getting left in the dust here. The Honda of Marcin Oljars jumps some of those Porsches. I've got no idea where it's going to go, Jay. The flag's going to come down soon. Luke Whitehead's currently in that lead position.
Yeah, that gap is such that I feel like I was about to say Kuhn's probably got an improvement in him, and he does. He moves up into 2nd place, but it's still a 10th and a half off Luke Whitehead, but that's put him on the front row. And yeah, we'll see. You have to feel it's going to come from one of those Porsches, one of those top 4. Just Parrock's actually improved up to 7th now, as that Porsche clean sweep gets even closer. They just need to find a way to jump Oljars. It will be a top 6 here, followed by 4 Hondas. But yeah, I think we know which 2 manufacturers it's going to come from in these closing minutes.
Well, top 10 at the moment only consists of 2 manufacturers, which is quite scary. Angel, I think, is currently on a charge to improve. He's 2/10 up. No one around him else is.
Right, quite a lot of that top 10 are in the pits, so it's looking from Angel or Luke Whitehead. Maybe Just Parrock or Leon might find an improvement. Just Parrock does improve to go up to 7th place then.
Fantastic improvement. I thought it would happen. Angel currently leading. We've got a change of the lead at the moment. Luke Whitehead's in the pit. He's thrown it away, Jay. We're not going to get any more. And that was a bit of a sorry end to that qualifying session for those boys at the top. And there has been a change. The top 4, all Porsches. Hubert Simoninski currently in 5th place. Marcin Oljars in 6th. Just Parrock comes across the line, like you say, in 7th place. And I think we're all done there. Liam Byrne, I think, is the only person who could make some changes, and he does.
He has.
Yes. Fantastic.
Moved himself
change.
up to 5th.
Brilliant
That's an
stuff.
incredible lap from Angel. He found it. It's a trend I'm seeing with Luke. He finds his time very early in the qualifying sessions, and it's the rest of the guys that seem to improve at a quicker rate. And he was just pipped at the last there by Angel, and that's a cracking lap. And leaves us with a fascinating 60 minutes ahead of us, considering how close those top 4 Porsches are, really.
Incredibly close.
With some Hondas in there to boot. And if the Hondas are a better race car, could even be a bigger of a scrap. Shout out to Darren King in P11, the top of the non-Porsche Hondas.
Still performing fantastically well there.
It's going to be a race of two halves. I was going to say 2 halves, 2 manufacturers.
Well, it definitely will be a race of 2 halves, because we've got a pit in the middle, and it will be a race of 2 manufacturers. It's Honda versus Porsche. To be honest, I think the Porsches are going to run away with it. Look how many Porsches we've got in that top 10. We'll go through it, Jay, as we always do. We'll start off with the top. I'm just so surprised that Angel was managed to put it on the front row. I actually didn't see him cross the line. I was that surprised that he came across and managed to pit pole. He only pipped it by 2, I think it was 200ths, was it, in the end? Not tenths, 200ths.
Just under 300ths. Yeah.
Just shy of 300ths. Well, he'll be joined by Luke Whitehead on the front row. I don't think Luke will mind having that outside line going into turn 1. Sorry, got a nice exit. If he can stay side by side, it will set him up for turns 3 and 4, and he should be ahead by 5. I wouldn't mind being on the outside there at least, as long as you don't get booped. High possibility of boopage here into turn 1, so we'll keep an eye. Matthias Kuhn, fantastic qualifying, and a run of good qualifying as well. Well done from him. He'll be starting 2nd row of the grid with Black Goldsaw. Good to see him back up there. His teammate, though, all at sea. We'll have a little word with what's going on with Trevor Wenham. I haven't seen him all session, Jay, actually, come to think about it. Have we got a non-start? Oh, no, he is here.
He's at the back.
No time set. Yeah, so Trevor Wenham starting at the back. So we'll watch out, see if the Wenham machine can push his way through. So it'll be good to see what happens there. Leon Burnt will be starting with Hubert Simonensky, and that's the start of the Hondas back there in the third row. Still fantastic performance from those boys. Marcin Olyars, ever present inside the top 10. He'll be starting with Just Perek, who got onto 8th place, 4th row of the grid. Fantastic qualifying from Kalsifer there. And then Vulcan and Kieran Prendergast. There you go, Prentice Senior. There's the sun. He's in the 5th row of the grid. I think Vulcan has got out next to his name. Is he there? Let's have a look. We got no, we're all good. Not too sure. It says location out. Not too sure what's happening there. He might go to the pit lane on the start here. But anyway, if he doesn't, he'll be joining Kieran Prendergast on the 5th row of the grid. Darren King, Hugo Merlers will be on the 6th row. Grantis Karakis and Jura Petrochenko. We've got all the other manufacturers coming in here. They'll be on the 7th row of the grid. Samir Foch, Maxine Chassé, they'll be on the 8th row. Harry Phillips, Sideways Phillips, I'm going to call him from now on, and Gert Fischer, they'll be on the 9th row of the grid. Connor Wright, he came a little bit closer towards the top end last time out. He'll be joined by Hardier in the 10th row of the grid. As we get on to the back, we've got Daniel Neves and Felix managed to get 22nd place. Okay, so let's do the maths, Jay. Where will he be? He'll probably be inside the top 10 by the end of this. I would
just outside the top 10, yeah. If not in it.
In it, yeah, I think so. He'll be joined very closely. Jean-Marcel Dietrich and Florian Bauer. They'll be in. I can't remember what row on the grid we're on now. Is it the 12th? I don't know. Marco Yonkers and Valentin Barrier, 25th and 26th. They'll be together. And then Christian Colagrosso, Igor, the Russian, look how far back he is. Unfortunately, not a very good performance in qualifying for Igor. Hampered by a car, I would have thought. You've got lots of Bentleys down there. So Kevin Niles and then Malik Fahmed and Trevor Wenham rounding out the grid there. Trevor Wenham's going to have an absolutely... Well, you might as well just see what happens at the beginning. He'll probably scout 5 places. So maybe it's a advantageous position to be in. I don't know. We'll see. Trevor Wenham rounding out the grid. Surprises there, Jay? Angel, it must be. Fantastic qualifying.
Angel,
yeah,
has to be. I haven't seen him up the top much, and I've just had a look back through. 30th in the championship with a best finish of 14th last time out. The other 4 finishes were in the 20s or 30s. So the really interesting thing is going to be how he's going to handle himself on this front row up with the big boys. So he's definitely the wild card of that top 4. And yeah, really interested to see what we're going to see from the Hondas as well.
Yeah.
Because they could be a better race car around here. It's looking unlikely considering the top 4 locked out from the Porsches and their domination of the season so far. But, you know, we've got to keep it open, right?
Oh no, I reckon it's still going to be a shout. You know, you're only in 5th place there. If there's an incident between Whitehead and Kern or Black Goldsaw and Angel, something goes on, they're right up in there. So yeah, I will definitely. Just seeing the paint on the side of Hubert's car, the number 22. Please no nerf. Please no nerf. Fantastic pace at the moment from the Honda. I agree, and I definitely agree with that. Please no nerf on that Honda.
I think it's a certain German manufacturer that needs that at the moment.
It's always been that way, though. Porsche's always been a mighty fast car, but it has its benefits and its disadvantages too, right?
Absolutely.
Longevity in that. Try doing a 24-hour race in a Porsche. It's just, you get to the early hours and, yeah, the back end becomes one of those things you just can't manage. Vulcan is still here, so I'm not too sure what's gone on with the timing screens. We'll completely ignore that. Talking of timing screens, you can catch the action on the best timing screen going, and it's Pitbull. I will find you a link and I will pin it in the chat if you want to keep an eye. Jay, guide us around the rest of the lap whilst I do so.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. As you say, it's a very tight turn 1 here, one that sort of Constantina's up. There's many lines you can take, and that normally causes some issues on the exit as they Constantina back together from the very wide. And then, of course, the corner they're coming to now, the corkscrew. This is where you're going to want to be out of trouble by the time you get here, because guaranteed there will be trouble when they do get there if there's anybody around you. It'll be interesting to see how punchy Luke Whitehead gets. You know, he's had a few lap 1 incidents so far. Not his fault. It's not saying that, but you know, he's got a championship to think about now. He's in a dominant position. The last thing he wants to do is end up at the back of the field at the end of lap 1. So it'll be interesting to see how he punched it off the line. And then I think there's going to be an incredible battle between the rest of the field after these Porsches and Hondas, because there's an awful lot of cars that aren't Porsches and Hondas that are still going to be going some good points. So yeah, it's going to be a really interesting race, and we'll see how Angel gets through this first lap, starting on the front row alongside Luke Whitehead. Got to be a few nerves, haven't there, Rage?
Oh, 100%. It's going to be skyrocketing with nerves. Angel going down towards the line. I've asked the community a little questionnaire there, guys. We'll put that user on timeout. We don't want that in there. Thank you very much. We've gone green. Luke Whitehead gets a fantastic drive. Really, really good. He dropped Angel straight off the bat, but he's on the outside, getting the braking zone done nicely there. And I think we're going to have an incident into turn 1. Everyone gets through okay inside the top 10. And Angel does find a way through. Nicely done. And on the outside, Matthias Kuhn going for a ride around turn 3, but Luke looks like he keeps it in. Black Gold Saw looking like he wants a piece of the action. How are we getting on? Further down, Jay, what's going on?
It's all looking pretty clean so far.
Are you
sure?
It's lap 1 of Laguna Seca. There has to be chaos.
I mean, everybody's still pointing in the same direction.
That's a good start, I guess.
We have the corkscrew to come, though.
Okay, no, you're right.
But yeah, I mean, it was a better start from Luke, but he was always going to be on the outside, and Angel just forced it through. There was nearly contact between Kuhn and Luke. Luke was a bit more forceful with Kuhn than he was with Angel.
We got action in the back. Black Gold Saw and Kuhn go toe-to-toe. Black Gold Saw comes off somewhat worse from that. Sorry to interrupt you, Jay, but that was not the best thing that Black Gold Saw wanted. He's down with Jura Petrochenko in 12th place.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 into 1 definitely didn't go in that case. And that, as you say, Black Gold Saw coming out worse. What more surprising is everyone else made through okay.
Yeah, Darren King looks like he's slowing down. Something wrong with that BMW. Got passed by Black Gold Saw. Not too sure what's going on there, but he's back on the power. Maybe he had an incident, maybe had to avoid going into turn 10, but definitely Black Gold Saw just drove past him, so not too sure what happened with Darren King in the latter end of that first lap, but Matthias Kuhn looks like he held on to 3rd place. What did I tell you, Jay? All it needs is an incident between the two, and then the Hondas can come and swarm their way through. VTEC's alive.
Yeah, absolutely. They're looking to pounce on Kuhn at the moment as they're lined up 4 astern now in that gap. But the front two breaking away nicely, Angel and Luke. Angel definitely not had the speed to break away at this stage. And then, yeah, it's Hugo Merles that's had the best start of the non-portioned Hondas, then up into the top 10. Got Black Gold Saw on his tail now, though, so unlikely to be in the top 10 for much longer.
No.
How did you see that incident between Black Gold Saw and Kuhn?
I mean, Black Gold Saw went up the inside of Kuhn in the corkscrew. Kuhn just didn't give him enough space on the apex. The car was definitely side by side, so not too sure. Black Gold Saw showed him the nose, and Kuhn looks like he closed the door, in my opinion. But we'll review that one. I'm sure the stewards will. Perek up into 9th place. He managed to scalp one. Obviously, Black Gold Saw dropping down. That's probably where that happened. But anyway, Hugo Merles, you're right, the better starter of the other manufacturers. Darren King, I was talking about the struggled start. He has dropped down into 12th place, unfortunately. Currently, Angel, fastest lap out there. It was Colagrosso, but that's changed now. Luke Whitehead, ever present, 6/10. And the gap then, because of the contact, 2 seconds back to Kuhn. Then Bern, Simonensky, very, very close. Martin Olsgaard, Prendergast, all align. And Prendergast, there you go, doing very well in 7th place. He's definitely scalped a few more than others, because he was a couple adrift. So yeah, Vulcan and Perek just behind. Black Gold Saw inside the top 10 now. Hugo Merles following in 11th place. Then Darren King and others are back a little bit better than that. What's happened to our current favourite overtaker of the season, Felix? He's currently in 20th place, so he's actually got 2 already, Jay.
He has indeed. Doesn't surprise me. Probably many more to come. Maybe not stay in that Mercedes around here. Trevor Wenham's decided to pull the trigger from the back of the grid on lap 1 then.
Oh, wow.
So he's going to run an alternate strategy. Probably a good call with the pace he's probably got in that car. And Florian Bauer got caught up somewhere on that opening lap as well. He hasn't had to pit, but he's 7 seconds off the back of the field. Oh,
wow. Okay, yeah, Florian Bauer. Oh, that's a shame. Such a good start last time out. Did very well. I think came over the line maybe 5th or 6th after all of the incidences went down. And let's just double check what it was at Suzuka. Let's see. He was 6th last time out.
Maybe jump back up to Black Gold Saw and just Perek having a right old ding-dong on the back end of the top 10. Black Gold Sword trying to go around the outside of turn 1, and there's contact.
Jesus.
Just Barrack, I don't think he could have gone any further to the left there, to be honest.
Black Gold Sword maybe got to slow things down.
Yeah, it looks at. I don't want to speak too ill of him, but he definitely didn't give him much room.
Driving
He's
angry.
come out worse of it. Yeah, potentially.
Yeah. Well, you get into that mindset, don't you, if I've got to improve, I've got to get back to where I was, and sometimes it can be counterproductive. 11th place now, so he's back to where he started after the incident he had earlier. So yeah, he's going to have another go at it. He didn't drop down, which is okay, but he's got Darren King behind him, who's been driving absolutely brilliantly this season. Black Gold Swords had a bit of a checkered return to AOR in that Porsche, but still, always fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, he's second in the championship, so I think we'd all like a checkered return that still sees you second. He's got a bit of work to do to keep that by the end of this race, but yeah, it can be some frustration, and it's side by side of the corkscrew. It's always going to be 50-50 on that one. I think everyone should really have a gentleman's agreement there to leave it well alone, but probably from a entertainment point of view, we're glad they don't.
What's this, the BOP, did you say?
No, going side by side down the corkscrew, which is what, of course,
yeah.
Scott Kuhn and Black Gold saw in trouble.
Yeah, no, it's a stupid place to do it, but the opening to the apex is so inviting, though, isn't it? It doesn't matter what happens over that brow, as long as you're on the inside, it's all fine. And I think that's what caught Black Goldsaw out, as he does actually move much closer to the back, just Perrick. So we have to watch out what happens to Calcifer, because he's currently in the clutches of Black Goldsaw. Who's got ahead? Vulcan looks like he's got himself in a nice little gap of air there, so we'll keep an eye on what he can do. And Leon, 5/10 back from Matthias Kuhn, who, yeah, he's not really making any improvements on the back of Luke Whitehead, but Luke Whitehead staying roughly behind Angel. Angel's driving a very, very good race today. It's his to lose, it seems, at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is the exact thing with Luke, right? He doesn't need to do anything drastic. He's got a nice, comfortable gap behind him now, and has got 53 minutes if he just wants to feel out Angel, see sort of, where he's stronger, keep him under some pressure, see if he cracks. He doesn't need to do anything drastic at this stage. As Leon's got past Kuhn, I was going to say Kuhn definitely seems to be struggling after that incident. I had a look around the car, doesn't seem to be any damage, but he's struggling to the point that we now have a Honda up into the top 3.
Hey, we got a Honda on the podium. As this ding-dong continues, Jay, through turns 1, kink, as we go down towards turn 2. Forgot about the kink here. It is actually turn 2 where you see all the incidents. Black Goldsaw looking to try and find a way past Calcifer. Oh, he's hit the sausage!
All contacts.
And unfortunately, that launched him into the side of Calcifer. Calcifer must be absolutely incensed by the driving that's going on next to him, and now in front of him.
Can you jump that one back?
I think we're going to have to jump that one back.
I went on a little too late. I'd like to see that
It's
again.
absolutely fine. We have jumped back, and we're going to go on board with the man, Black Goldsaw himself. Here we go. Side by side, classic cutback. Classic cutback. No, it's absolutely fine. The curb caught him out though. Boom! Straight into the side of him, and that's it. Unfortunately, you've got Just Perrick getting chucked down there into 11th place, and Darren King sneaked his way up into a better position. Yeah, unfortunate for him there. We'll go back on board with them as they go through the corkscrew. Yeah, Jay, unfortunate. I just don't think he knew that the sausage curb was there.
Why you always do your track walk, boys.
Yeah, or get your scooters
Go
out.
and spot those things, yeah. Scooters, bikes, running, whatever you do. Black Goldsaw has pulled that into the pit lane then. He might have a little bit of damage on that Porsche, but probably just wants to get out into some clean air. As he nearly hits the tyre wall on pit entry. So easy to do here. And gets himself into the box. But yeah, I think just wants to get himself out of trouble, clear his head a little bit and use some of the pace he's got. But yeah, it's... I've got to say, Just Perrick, we want to see how he would do in the top 10. He's done very well. It's not really been his fault the two times with Black Goldsaw, to be honest. And we'll just need to settle down and see if we can get back after Darren King, who is now best of that rest in P9 then.
I think Luke Whitehead is starting to turn up the wick behind the back of Angel. We'll keep an eye on this fight as we just continue the conversation. Yeah, I think he can only hold his hands up there. I'm a great fan of Black Goldsaw, but I think, unfortunately, the young Dutchman's done himself a little bit of an injustice in that one. I think everyone watching knows how fast that man is, but unfortunately, just the Porsche round here, tight track, I think he's just done himself a little bit of an injury there, but never mind. He's in the pit and he's changing some tyres, I would have thought, and he'll be going again in a little gap. Hopefully, we'll see how well Trevor Wenham's stop went, because he will be joining his teammate very soon. I think Black Gold Saw's been released. Whereabouts is he? Oh my God, they're next to each other. That's how good it was for Trevor Wenham. Oh! Teammate to teammate there. Black Gold Saw darting in front of him. Trevor Wenham had to put the anchors on there, Jay. There's no love lost between these boys at the moment.
No, absolutely. Well, it'd be quite crucial for Black Gold Saw. He wants to be able to use the tyres and the speed, which obviously Trevor Wenham's been on those tyres for 10 minutes. Shouldn't make too much difference, but, you know, still don't want to be fighting too much. He wants to get on with it. And you'd think teammates, they'd want to get on with it. But, you know, stopping this early and getting into some fresh air, this could be a battle for 3rd or 4th place. You don't know later on. So, yeah. Crucial move for Black Gold Saw at that time, but we'll see if he can hold it. That's Trevor Wenham going straight on, isn't it, at the corkscrew?
We had a prime position for that incident. We were watching on the back of what I like to call the fail cam. We were watching from the rear wing of Black Gold Saw, and Trevor Wenham just coming in, anchors alight into the corkscrew, and yeah, just completely misjudged that. And that is exactly what's happened to both these drivers this race. I think they just need to put the thermostat on a couple of degrees lower this race. I think they need to turn it down, unfortunately. Never mind, but Race Anywhere Simsport, I think, currently leading the team championship. And they're on the same strategy. They've both come in early. Is it going to work for them? Let's find out. We'll have to reconvene there a little later on. Luke Whitehead now 2/10 back from Angel. Wick definitely turned to maximum, Jay.
Yeah, he had a little look out of the corkscrew. Luke got very close, started to show his nose a little bit to Angel. But still being fairly patient. No lunges necessary at this time, but he's definitely decided it's time to get on with it a little bit. And starting to put the pressure on him.
Now, I think if Luke is clever about this...
Sorry, there's been an incident for Kun. There's definitely damage on that Porsche. He's now dropped behind the entirety of the Honda brigade and behind Vulcan as well. So there's definite damage on the back of that Porsche, which suggests one of the Hondas has got a little bit too close and personal with him.
Okay. Well, maybe we should have a look and see if we can spot the damage on the Hondas. Kieran Prendergast would be number 1 on that list. Fantastically clean front end. Marcin Oljars, let's have a look at the front end on him. Is it lovely and clean? Corkscrew abiding? Come on. Let's have a little looky look. Lovely and clean. It's not Marcin Oljars. Hubert Semenensky looks clean too, Jay. Only leaves one man, unfortunately. Leon looks lovely and clean too.
He was already passed. I wonder... Kun was in a few incidents early on. That damage maybe could have been there from then. Yeah. But one thing's certain, he's definitely had an incident somewhere, dropping behind as he has, and that releases all of the Hondas now to see what kind of pace they've got. Leon at 1:22.0 that time around. The front two are still in the 21s, so he's not quite able to match them. But got some nice clear track ahead of him, and that's all but 2 Porsches out the way now for the Hondas.
I'm going to interrupt you slightly. We've got an absolutely epic battle at the moment going on between Conor Wright Felix and also Colo Grosso. Colo Grosso taking the inside line into turn 2. Conor Wright taking it away from him. Felix is going to follow through, doesn't hit the sausage curb like we saw before.
Igor's gone into the back of him though.
Oh no! We didn't see that, unfortunately. I think we might have to do the rewind. And we'll go on board with Igor. 30 seconds back, please, Mr. Computer.
Well, Colo Grosso taking that shallow line meant that Felix got out of it, and Igor didn't quite spot it, and wasn't able to stop in time. Tapped the rear end of that Mercedes, and round he went.
The Russian a bit too quick then, it seems. Oh yeah, look, blocked, and he had to get on the anchors, and yeah, that's strange. You would have thought you see the red lights flashing, you've got to do something about it. I think that's slam dunk for Igor, unfortunately. I think he's going to have a hard time explaining that one. That's going to be a good at least 5 seconds, I think, for that. But never mind. We're not the stewarding team, but we like to put in our views anyway. Back to the fight for P9. Looks like Darren King's got past Parrott, which is crucial for him. Nasty bit of damage on the side of that Porsche. I think he can just write BGS on the side of that, and it kind of makes up for most of those scrapes, right?
Yeah, pretty much, unfortunately. But he's the one still standing in that top 10. So now, still on for one of his best results of the season so far. Something quite interesting, with it being such a short lap here. Some of the guys that are pulling the trigger earlier coming out around sort of the second group of leaders. So there's another dynamic there to it. You've got Naves and Samuel Foch in between Leon and the front two at the moment. So if quite a few people start pulling the trigger early, then we could end up with quite a mismatch of cars in this front group as Samuel Foch goes wide, going up Rahal and nearly collecting Leon in third place. That's the jeopardy that we're going to have with these guys coming out here.
It's a tough one to get past people, isn't it? Samir, unfortunately, in Cloud Fiesta Esports, causing problems. What was that? What's happened? What's gone on?
Marcin Olajars and Kun going wheel to wheel in the corkscrew. They're still going at it, coming into the final right-hander. See if Kun can be better on the brakes or whether he's going to be patient. Going to the final corner, he'll have a think about it around the outside, thinks better of it, tries to cut back underneath the Honda, and we'll see if he can stay in that toe. As Olajars immediately goes to the left-hand side to try and break the toe. You want to hug the inside line as much as possible here. There's not really much the other car can do about it if you just keep that inside line. Kun will give it a go anyway, but I imagine he'll be run out of road there and does. Good defending from Olajars. And Kun trying to mount that recovery, but going to have to take another crack at that Honda.
Yeah. Got a good couple of Hondas ahead of him now. Unfortunately, Vulcan jumped up a little place or two. Nice to see. Yeah, unfortunately though, Jay, our favourite... Oh yeah, we saw it. I was going to say our favourite overtakers dropped down to 23rd. That's obviously the instance that we saw with the Russian. Talking of the Russian, where is Igor? Has he come in? Can't quite see him on the list. Whereabouts is he? Looks like he might have pulled the trigger. And let's have a little look a bit further down.
Igor, no, he hasn't pitted. He's just, ironically, just back behind Felix in 24th. Okay. So
maybe
I wonder if he's... Yeah, I'm wondering if that was a bit of sportsmanship there. I mean, the damage is done at that point, but at least it's a gesture, right?
Yep. Oh yeah, definitely. I put a little poll out at the beginning. Can Luke keep it calm as Kun gets past Olyars there? Scrappy turn 10, I think that was. Never mind. Kun up into 7th place. Can Luke keep it calm? 52% said no, and 47% said yes. So far, Luke has kept it calm. He didn't go massively defensive, didn't go massively aggressive. He stayed where he needed to be. Is this a driver or a champion, Jay? Could be.
Well, it's all he needs to do to be champion, really, is just take it easy in these final 2 rounds, as is the advantage he's got. And I mean, the closest championship rival, Black Gold Sword, currently, it's with that early pit stop right at the back of the field, although we think he's in the top 10 still on net. Along with Trevor Wenham, who's I think the next closest, isn't he? Still, despite the poor race last time out, yeah, Trevor Wenham's still in 3rd then. So yeah, I mean he can afford to be patient. Depends how much he wants that 3rd win of the season, really.
Yeah. I mean, it looking like it's getting very, very spicy between the two of them. He's dropped back a little bit in that lap anyway, but does he do it in... I was going to say this earlier. Does he do it in the pits? Does he do it the plain Jane boring way? It still doesn't pull it in this time. We'll have to see. Wait and see what happens with those. We've yet to see a top runner, apart from Black Gold Sword, but I wouldn't say he was a top runner because he was outside the top 10 at the time. Pit. We haven't seen it happen. So what have we got? Black Gold Sword is the current leader of those pitters. Wenham, Grantis Caracas have all come in. Naves has done it too. Samir and Fisher all pitted. Black Gold Sword still leading the way there in 25th place. Interesting. Not too sure how that one's going to work out, but I'm sure we'll see. Hugo Merlers. How far? Oh God, he's getting very close onto the back of Calcifer as he goes into turn 2.
The really interesting thing for me, Black Gold Sword and Trevor Wenham, currently around, almost half a second quicker than the front 2 last time around. Oh, wow. So those two Porsches with clean air, I think they're both now comfortably into the top 10. It's how much quicker, how much further into that top 10 they can go. But if I was in that top 10, I wouldn't be hanging about too much considering that pace.
No. Well, yeah, you're right. 121.7 and a 121.9 for Angel and the Ripper. And then we've got 121.3 and a 121.5 for Trevor Wenham. So, yeah, good few tenths faster than those boys currently. So, maybe Angel and Luke are just driving to their speed. I think it is quite evident that Luke's a little bit quicker, but he just can't find that way past. Like, he doesn't want to put the nose into a position where it causes an incident. Yeah, I mean, it could be a very measured approach for once from Luke Whitehead.
Here is what we've been waiting for then. So Martin Olajars is in from 8th place.
Lovely.
Black Gold Saw was just outside the top 10. So you're going to get the answer to your question here, Rage.
Yep, we'll see. We're on board with Olyars at the moment. Where's Black Gold Saw? Let's see where he is. Corkscrew, I think. No. Okay, well, interestingly, he's going through turn 5. Well back. No, he's not. Turn 6. Excuse me.
It's a very short lap here. Olajars has only just come in. So we'll probably need another 40-50 seconds before we get the answer to that question.
We'll see.
Quite a few in this time. Hardier's in as well, as is Dietrix, Felix, and Igor. He's apparently just 23 seconds off, but he hasn't pitted. Igor. Yes, now.
I think that was forced. Yeah, he was well wide and pulled it in. All right, here comes BGS. Is that Olyars leaving? I think it is. BGS then clearly 8th. Nicely done. He'll take that. That is for net 8th.
There's
really,
Trevor Wenham, next one along. Might try and see if he can go into turn 1.
100%.
Well, it's a tighter line here for the guy in the pits, so this isn't done. It's very close on exit, but just about. Trevor Wenham has the drive to get himself through then. So that's Trevor Wenham nicely into the top 10 as well from the back of the grid. That early stop on lap 1 doing him wonders at the moment.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Great job there.
So, by my calculations, that's about 4 seconds. So that puts Black Gold Saw, I reckon, challenging around about between 4th and 5th. There's a bit of a gap between Prendergast. Camera doing. And Hubert. I think he's about in that gap at the moment. It might be a net 4th, you know, Black Gold Saw.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's obviously worked for him. So we'll keep an eye on how that pace changes throughout the remainder of the race. As, oh goodness gracious me, we've got, I think, Zach Hardier getting in between the top boys at the moment, going through the corkscrew. Definitely not helping out Luke Whitehead here. Luke's going to have to try and find a way past, and he does pull out the way. That's the 39 car. I think that is, actually. Let's have a look. So, no, yeah, it is. Hardier getting out the way for Luke Whitehead. He's come in, I think he's definitely pitted already, hasn't he? The number 39. So, yeah, just getting in the way. And that's what happens around here. It's very tight, twisty. You have incidents like that. Unfortunately, it causes many problems. Never mind.
Well, that's what I was saying. We've already seen quite a few incidents in the last 20 minutes or so from the guys that pitted early being right in amongst those leaders. So we've now had... God, these leaders is making it very difficult for me to find out where people are. I think we've had another pitter that's come out just behind Black Gold Saw, so that's another position. He's got a 5-second penalty, though, that's been applied to Black Gold Saw, so the penalty's starting to come through, presumably. Oh, as Trevor Wenham loses the back end. Got on board as Trevor Wenham has unfortunately lost the car, I think. Oh, and he's... That's... What was your words from Suzuka Rage?
Oh, God. I don't know. I don't know if I want to watch it now. We're going to have to go back 30 seconds.
I would.
Whereabouts is Trevor Wenham? What number is he? Whereabouts is he? How far
33.
Back?
He's B24.
We'll go on board where we'll see it. Oh, God. Punishable by death. I hope not. What's that? Oh, it's a big tank slapper. Off into the grass. And he's... Oh, my God. He's blocking the whole racetrack. Okay. Pulls it back on. And what happens here? Lovely rejoin. Lost the car. Oh, my goodness gracious me. And yeah, well, that's a huge amount of penalty points he's going to be slapped with, unfortunately, for Trevor Wenham. And he's in the pit. He's done for the rest of this race. And the guy he took out, who was that? Is that... I can't quite see who that is. It's Grantis Caracas. It is Grantis Caracas.
It is, yeah.
Oh,
who had also pitted really early and had been on some really good pace to start threatening for the top 10. So that's really unfortunate for him. And yeah, I mean, Caracas had easily gone to the left. Unfortunately, that is all on Trevor Wenham getting back on the power there before checking your mirrors. Not that I've ever done that.
I mean, I think he just lost the rear end. I don't think I've seen that before from a front runner. Losing the rear end, rejoining, and then obviously... Well, yeah, that's got to be a hands held up incident, and yeah, that's massive. What happened, though, in that time, is Luke Whitehead's actually pulled it into the pit. So let's just see what happens with this man, Black Gold Saw. We've been watching with bated breath to see what happens with these top runners. I'm not sure if Luke has left. He's green on the screen. Is that Luke leaving now? I'm not sure it is. Let's have a look.
Luke's already through turn 1.
Good, thank you very much. Okay.
He's nicely ahead. I mean, Black Gold Sword has got ahead of Prendergast in that gap before. Darren King is, I thought was behind Prendergast, so he's either had a blinder in the pit stops, or my timing screen hasn't caught up with me. Which is the case, because Darren was actually on pit exit, so he's come out just behind Black Gold Sword, I think. No, my timing screen's all over the place. He's behind a Honda. I think that's all it does.
Oh dear, never mind. Let's have a look through some of those incidences in race control. Let's see what we've got. 1 second, I've got to find the alien area. There we go, lovely jubbly, found it. Okay, lots of no further actions. I won't go through those, but 5-second time penalties for 898. Causing a collision, 0 license points. So 898, who is that? Let's see if we can find out. 898 is Felix, so he was involved in an incident very early on. Then here's the 5-second time penalty for the car 88. That's Black Gold Sword, FYI. 5-second time penalty for 78. Lots of 8s involved. That's Gert Fischer for causing a collision. No license points for any of those incidents, but just 5-second slapperoonies.
It's going to be close, Rage.
What's going on?
Angel coming back out of the pits. I think you're still on board with Luke Whitehead, aren't you? And on the inside, he's suddenly going to see his rival appear. Angel has got out just ahead, and actually quite comfortably ahead. I mean, Luke Whitehead will have the hotter tyres, but great in lap there from Angel, pulling the trigger 1 lap later and regains the lead.
Strange. No, absolutely fine. Thanks for keeping us involved, because I was predisposed. This is very annoying having to mute these people. Please do not click on those links. Anyway, I muted them again.
Annoying.
Angel's holding on to this race. Measured driving from Luke, as always, but maybe had to sort. I didn't think he had any damage. Unsure. Obviously, Angel's got the hotter tyre, and it's going to be harder for Luke to put the leather down. No, other way around. Angel came in afterwards. Confusing times, Jay. I'm not too sure. I didn't see where that slow in pace happened. But hey, Luke's right over the back of him now, and this is obviously the fight for net lead. Black Gold Sword currently in 3rd place somehow. I've got no idea, but once these guys come out of the pit, we'll be able to see what happens. Kuhn, Perek, Phillips all got to reassume their positions. I think that Kuhn will be very close to Black Gold Sword when all said and done. Luke Whitehead taking the crown for that lap, currently going purple.
I think Black Gold Sword's easily clear of him, to be honest, because I think Kuhn was behind Prendergast. So I think Black Gold Sword is comfortable. He's got that 5-second penalty, of course. He's currently got 5.8 seconds over Hubert in 9th. And there's an almighty Honda battle going on between Hubert, Kieran and Martin at the moment. But yeah, I think Black Gold Sword, I think he's in net 3rd, you know.
I reckon so as well. Obviously, he's got the 5-second time penalty, so he's just got to pull that gap. But there is gaps to find here. Look at the difference between Juss and Kuhn. 5 seconds.
Sorry, Leon was 3rd, and he's just come out 9 tenths behind him.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, Black Gold Sword is a net 3rd with that penalty to think about.
Jesus. Okay, there you go. We'll keep hiding all of these things. I'm sorry, boys. There we go. The chat feeds the algorithm, I guess. It does, unfortunately. Never mind. Where is everyone tonight? We've got lower viewers. Where is everyone? Get everyone on board. This is the 2nd to last race. It's the penultimate one of the season. Anything can happen at this stage. Luke Whitehead's not even leading. Currently in 6th place, obviously because of the pits. But yeah, we're going to see some bits and pieces happening now. Kuhn comes out in front of Black Gold Sword, Jay. So there is... Oh, no, he hasn't.
No, he doesn't.
He does not. Black Gold Sword definitely is net 3rd. Fantastic stuff for him. Good, much further down. It's coming out now.
Yeah, we got caught up in those incidents, didn't he? And that group he was battling and the group that's just gone past, which is of Hubert, Kieran and Olajars. So yeah, I think he's in about 10th place here, although he's still got 3 cars to pit. We got Just Perek to come back into this battle as well for the lower top 10. There's some people having some cracking races in this lower end of the top 10. And I think that's where a lot of the battles are still going to come from. Obviously, that battle for lead is still raging as well.
Yeah, 2 tenths is the gap at the moment. I wanted to see what happened to Kuhn when he came out. All right, who we got to pit? We've got Phillips, Perrett and Yonkers all still to pit here today. As the Honda Brigade just up ahead are still pretty damn close. Pretty damn close indeed. Let's see what's happening with Mr. Whitehead going down into the final corner. Ever so close. 2/10 separates these boys. When does he do it? You know, does he just chuck one up the inside or give it a crack?
I don't know. That's where the risk is attached, right? While he's following, there's not much risk attached to his race. So I'm sure initially, with Angel not having been up here for most of the season, he would have just thought, I'll sit in and wait for the mistake. But Angel has dealt with the pressure brilliantly so far, and that mistake is not coming. So, you know, from what we've seen and what you said of Life Story Luke, I'm sure he's gonna send it at some point, right?
He's
Championship or not.
He's got to have a go. I can't see it staying the way it is for the remainder of the race. But yeah, there is the Honda battle going on, which we'll kind of keep an eye on. Marcin Olyar is just right in the thick of it, just behind Kieran Prendergast. This is the battle for 8th place, Honda versus Honda. Coming down, I think that's turn 5? Yes, it is, turn 5 into 6. Who's ahead on the Honda battle? Is it Simonensky and Burnt? Yeah, it is. Sorry, carry on.
Yep, no, you're right. It's Leon and Hubert, who were 3rd and 4th before the stops. They've regained that, but they've seen themselves jumped by Black Goldsaw. But both of them are still in range of that penalty at the moment, so Black Goldsaw's now stop sending some risks and putting in the best laps he can to try and extend that gap between now and the flag.
I mean, he's got a lot of time to do it. He's got himself to find, what, another 3.5 seconds, and he's managed to open up that gap. I'm not sure he'll be able to do it all, but let's see. I guess it's Honda versus Porsche at this stage. I mean, it's definitely conceivable. It's not like it couldn't happen, so we have to keep an idea as Phillips finally comes into pit. That means Yonkers is the only person out there still who's got the same tyres on. Not sure that's the best way round, as Olyars goes deep into turn 2. That opens up the gap a little bit more between him and Prendergast, trying to squeeze a little bit too much out of that Honda. Unfortunately, the brake's giving way into turn 2, and he goes quite deep. Never mind, you have to go again in a minute. Valentine Barrier also fighting back there in 18th place versus Yardia. We'll have a look what's going on there. Incredibly close. It's the battle of the barges, Jay. As the 72 and the 39 go toe-to-toe. Let's go on board with the 72, see if he can do anything here.
Well, these two know each other incredibly well, of course. Endurance teammates in many hundreds of hours. And yeah, I'm sure it'll be a matter of pride in the two Bentleys not having the best race, but that's more down to the Bentley than the talent of these two. We've obviously seen both of them shine. They were both well up inside top 4 or 5 in the championship early on, but the last 2 tracks just haven't really suited them. And yeah, it's always it's at a completely different level, but as you and me know from racing each other, when you know the person, it makes it a little bit more personal.
Oh yeah. And you know where they're quicker as well, because you've done loads of practice with them, so it's even harder.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a tough old gig, unfortunately, battling against a teammate. Okay, so Yonkers does pull the trigger then. In he comes. And he's going to drop massively, unfortunately, down the grid. It's a very late pit, but he'll be fast on the remainder of this. Luke Whitehead still behind Angel as the natural progression of the grid now is resumed. Angel leading there, Luke Whitehead 2nd place. We've got Black Goldsaw somehow has wizarded his way into 3rd place. Leon Burnt is in 4th. 5th place, Hubert Simonensky. 6th is Kieran Prendergast. Fantastic job from him. That's the highest I've seen him up in a long time. Marcin Olyars in 7th. Matthias Kuhn in 8th. Vulcan in 9th. Darren King in 10th. And then Just Perrett Calcifer in 11th place. Hugo Merlers, Harry Phillips, Jura Petrochenko, Maxime Chassé will be outside the top 10 plus 5. Then we've got Jardier and Valentine Barrier, the fight we're watching right now, that's going toe-to-toe, 16th and 17th. Conor Wright in 18th place, he's dropped down a few. Oh no, I think he stayed where he is. I think he was 18th on the grid. Samir Foch, 19th. Gert Fischer rounding out the top 20. And then unfortunately it's a bad day in the office for everyone else. Jean-Marcel Dietrich, Daniel Naves, 21st, 22nd. Florian Bauer after that disastrous start. Yonkers after the extended stint, 24th. Malik Mamad, unfortunately, is dead last at the moment. He started 1 from last on the grid, so I'm not too sure what's happened with him. Non-finishers today: Colagrosso, Grantis Caracas, Trevor Wenham, Kevin Niles. Felix has given in the towel. So is Igor. Unfortunately, no more for the Russian. As this battle continues, Jay, between the two Bentleys.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I was looking at the front two battles. I was just looking a little bit into Angel. Because obviously he's come from...
Sorry.
Nothing like whatever you were thinking.
Take the words right out of my mouth.
You're a strange man sometimes. And because he's sort of come from nowhere in this series. He's looking through his track record in AOR. This is his first season, straight into Tier 1. And it's obviously the first time he's been anywhere near the top 10. Very successful GT Sport driver. Represented Chile at the GT Sport sort of world level. Very successfully. So obviously now trying his hand at ACC. So there's definitely pedigree for performing under pressure there. And that maybe explains why he's been able to hold off Luke Whitehead so successfully so far.
We should try and learn how to pronounce his surname. Is it Inostroza? Inostroza?
Inostroza, yeah.
Inostroza. Never mind. Angel. It suits him better. Number 96 car. Oh, he's going toe-to-toe with Luke Whitehead into turn 3. There was a touch there, I think, Jay, but it didn't come off for Luke Whitehead. Had to jump behind. He went for a gap there that I don't think really exists, and there we go, a little bit, first little chink in the armour of Luke Whitehead this afternoon, showing and rearing its ugly head. Unfortunately, went for a gap, didn't materialise, but held onto the car, went wide on the exit of turn 4, and managed to pick it up, but it's dropped back about 4/10 or so from Angel after that excursion. Didn't do the business.
Yeah, it's doesn't matter what your situation in the championship or what maybe your game plan's been for the last 35 minutes. If that gap appears, as we all know, you have to go for it. And maybe thought better of it. I think in a non-championship position, he would have continued up the inside there, but thought better of it. And as you say, just about held on to it in exit, so probably the right decision.
Oh! Massive accident in the corkscrew. Matthias Kuhn, I think that was Olyars going straight into the barrier. Let's just hop on board with that. I think we need to watch that back, unfortunately. That was definitely not a very good incident there from Olyars. It looks like they were all battling. I think that's Olyars and Prendergast. Olyars trying to get past Prendergast. Matthias Kuhn not spotting what was going on there. Unsighted into the braking zone. Yeah, got quite deep. Went for the apex. Kuhn opened it up. And oh, it's a shame there. Wasn't able to hold on to it. And he could have just left off the loud pedal for a fraction. And then might have avoided an incident on the apex of the corkscrew. Disaster.
Yeah, I'm just catching up to it now.
No worries.
Yeah, again, it was that case of the gap being there, wasn't it? And it's one of those half-hearted moves. If you're going to do that, you've got to commit to it. But Olajars had to take the corner at some point, and Kuhn being stuck on the inside, there was nowhere to go. So, sort of a half-hearted move, but
that's definitely going to net him a penalty, I think, Jay.
Yeah, I think so. Lars, nowhere really to go. It's very close to a racing incident, though, I must say. But
see, it's the age-old draw of the corkscrew's apex, mate. It drags you in. It's like a shady downtown brothel that you're very well used to, you know. Drags you in, kicking.
If you're speaking from experience, then fine. Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. I'm fairly sure. You normally are the first for most. I'm sure you're the first person to compare corkscrew to a shady brothel.
Exactly. It just draws you in. It's like a black hole of deprivation and shame. Unfortunately, though, it caught out two drivers now. Black Gold Saw first fell to that black hole as Luke Whitehead again going very wide on the entrance to turn 4, but keeps the car on the road. 4/10 back now. Again, like I said, maybe cracks starting to show from Luke Whitehead. He's pushing on, wants to get the win under the wings, but I don't think he's going to get it driving like this, Jake.
No, well, again, I don't think we're seeing the true Luke Whitehead. He would have gone for a move by now if he wouldn't. But then again, Angel's put in the car. It's not really put a foot wrong from the times we've been watching.
Fantastic drive.
Apart from that little moment where he opens the inside of the corner for through 4. But other than that, he's been pretty much perfect. And look, he's got the number 2 on his car. He's leading the championship. Second will be absolutely fine for Luke Whitehead in this one. He doesn't need to do anything.
He'll happily take the bridesmaid's position today. Matthias Kuhn on the outside of 10, trying to get a move done on Kieran Prendergast. Prendergast, though, defending like a lion. Fantastic stuff. This is a new, invigorated Kieran Prendergast. I like what I'm seeing here, but unfortunately I think he's going to fall foul to that Porsche as they drag themselves down towards turn 1, kink, and turn 2. And yet just got the legs, that NSX, on the straights by the looks of things. Matthias Kuhn losing about a tenth back. Hard on the brakes, misses the braking point, but goes wide, and it's almost following the car round. He's definitely going to lose time on exit. Both of them hit the sand. But yeah, Matthias Kuhn losing time on the back there of Kieran Prendergast. I think he's slightly faster. He knows he's faster, but he's got to get past the young gun there in 6th place. But he's going to be really hard holding on to that position. This is the furthest we've seen Prendergast up for so long. His dad's in the chat, I know he is, and he's going to be proud of his son's job here, holding on to Matthias Kuhn. But you know, Matthias has had a few scraps. He's had a few dicey moves. You know, do you just let it go, or do you fight to the end with 20 minutes to go, Jay?
Well, it's not a championship or anything up for grabs, so you fight for every single position. I was very surprised there, and maybe with the mindset that Kuhn's driving in is why he didn't. But the one thing you've got to do when defending into turn 1 is cover that inside line, because it's almost impossible around the outside. Prendergast left that wide open, and Kuhn still went to the outside. So we'll see if he thinks better of it this time around. Because if that door's left open down the inside, it's almost free game. Because whoever gets to that turn 1 on the inside pretty much has the corner, because it's such a long, slow-speed corner. You just cannot find a way around the outside. We'll see again here then as we come down the main straight. Does Prendergast cover all the way to the left? It's going to have to be a late dive from Kuhn because of the straight line speed of the Honda, and maybe that's why. Oh, he's so late on the brakes, nearly collects Kieran Prendergast into turn 1. Maybe that's why Kieran feels he doesn't have to cover that inside line because of that straight line speed of the Honda.
Yep. Pretty much summed that up better than I could. Black Gold Saw has actually lost time on Leon. I think he's probably given up on 4th. Sorry, on 3rd. I think he's assumed that he's probably going to come away with 4th place here. He'll definitely do that if he keeps the pace where it is now. Hopefully Simonensky stays where he is. Black Gold Saw will be able to net himself 4th place, but Leon is on a bit of a charge.
Because what's that number next to Black Gold Saw's name? It's not a 5 anymore.
Oh, crumbs. We'll have to check out how that happened as we go for another wiggle down the corkscrew. No, it definitely was. I kept it very PC. As we do go for a little bit of a dance, but Kieran Prendergast holds on. I think this little corner complex is the best in sim racing. It's absolutely fantastic, isn't it?
When you hook it up right, throwing it from left to right after the corkscrew.
Turn 9 and 10 is just the best, it really is. As Kuhn goes to the outside, I think it's actually better than the corkscrew, you know. The rainy curve, it's fantastic. It's so steep, and when you hook it up nice, you can throw so much speed. You don't even have to brake sometimes, it's fantastic. But Kuhn losing a chunk of time there.
Yeah, I mean, the corkscrew's unbelievably dramatic to watch, but it's not much fun driving it.
No. I love the IndyCars around the corkscrew. It is a sight to behold.
It is a bit bonkers. Yeah, I mean, Matthias Kuhn just needs to calm it down a bit out the final corner as he runs a little wide on the grass, because he's throwing the anchors on so late to try and negate that straight line speed of the Honda going down the main straight. But I think if he just keeps it a bit tighter, doesn't worry about trying to outbrake him, just keep it as neat and tidy as possible, he's so much better onto the brakes into turn 1, but it would be a bit of a send. And if Kieran doesn't spot him and it's too late, and that's where the trouble will start. And he can't exactly afford to go sailing off into turn 1 because he's got Vulcan and Darren King just behind, waiting in. Another very impressive performance from Darren King, isn't it? He's holding on to a couple of Porsches and a Honda, considering the how dominant those cars have been. Is a very impressive performance so far.
Yeah, just to clear things up in chat, I think we are having a few technical issues today, so you just have to bear with me, unfortunately. If it is lagging slightly for you guys, just, yeah, unfortunately, nothing I can do about it. We're too far gone. Should have done a little bit of a refresh.
Were you clicked off looking at the penalties?
No, I will do, though, in a second. I was just reading.
Oh, no, I was going to say, because it's just sorted itself. Sometimes when you're clicked off, that's when it goes a bit stuttery with ACC.
Ah, that's
it's now finding him.
Possibly could be, because I was slightly away, but I'll come back. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, okay. I have got some news from Race Control. Apparently a DDoS attack has been averted. So we've still got that hanging over our heads. So,
victory!
Victory at last, boys. We got in there. Okay, I'm just going to read some of these penalties because we need to find out what happened to car 88 because we've got another penalty for him. So no further action going on. Where is this 10 seconds that we need to... I can't see it, Jay.
While you're finding it out, I'll just commentate on this battle because Kun throws it around the outside of the corkscrew, gets the better exit down the hill. He's going to be very wide, just about avoids the gravel. That was super brave from Kun. I've got to say full respects to both those guys giving themselves each other space, which we've not seen through the corkscrew much, but the danger's not over for him because we know how strong that Honda is down this main straight now.
Just on a replay, by the way, because we missed it. I wanted to rejig it for everyone. Oh, fantastic overtake that. Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, they gave each other just enough room. Really fair racing between the two of them. And couldn't actually manage to hold it down the main straight and into turn one. So that's job done.
Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Yeah, it may be that's causing issues. I don't know, guys, if you do have issues or you're noticing issues, it could be. Obviously, I think we're just lucky that we got a race on. It's not being thwarted or attacked or anything these days. So, yeah, I have noticed that there was some slight drops in frames, but it seems to be stable now. But just keep an eye out, boys. I can always reset things, but we don't want to. We really don't want to with this far on in the race. But if it gets unwatchable, let me know, and we'll have to do something drastic. 14 minutes to go then. Currently, Luke Whitehead 6/10 back. That 10-second time penalty. I'm unable to find it, Jay. I can't find it in the notes. I will quickly have another look, but I don't want it to cause issues.
I think it will be 2 5s because he already had a 5. So
well, that's what I mean.
5 somewhere.
I can see the 5 from turn 1, turn 2, lap 6, but I can't see the other 5, which is causing me a few issues. Where have we got? Any other 5s? Ah, no, there is another one. Sorry, you're right. 5-second time penalty for cars 7 and 88, causing a collision, and that's 1 licence point, unfortunately. However, I'm very interested to see what happens with the Trevor Wenham incident. I think it's this one. 332 sounds like Trevor Wenham. Let's just double check. No, it's not. It's 33. I have to come back to see what happened with 33. Obviously, the issue with Grantis Caracas. We definitely want to see that because that was a rejoin, unfortunately, from the deepest bowels of hell. And we don't want to see that ever again. Black Goldsaw still in 3rd place, though. He will lose some positions after the race is done. Anywhere we should be watching, Jay, that I've missed during that little interval?
I've missed it, and unfortunately that means you have as well. I think Valentin and Hardier got incredibly close on that last lap, and that move is now done for Valentin. That would have been nice to see. We were watching a little bit earlier on. These two guys that obviously know each other so well. That move is now done. But yeah, they were about when I jumped to them on the timing screen, it was 0.006. Oh, okay. So I think I just missed the move. I got very close at some point. That move is now done. Other than that, I mean, still that interesting battle. Kieran Prendergast now has been passed by Kun. He's got Vulcan and Darren King behind. And then there's another good battle for the final spot in the top 10 of Just Parrick, who has just about kept himself in the top 10 after those early incidents.
You say that, though. I think something's gone on between those boys. Because Hugo Merlers is behind the back of Phillips. And that's going to change now. There you go, you can see that on the screen. Phillips coming through turn 1 and into 2. Yeah, so something must have gone on between them because Phillips has jumped Merlers down a position. So yeah, incidents involving Just Perrick, aka Calcifer. He's had quite a few this afternoon. Most of them not his fault. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt, eh?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The fact he's held on to that top 10 position, considering, is still great. And there's still places to be had ahead because there's still battles going on. Darren King right on the back of Vulcan now. And Prendergast looked like he'd struggled a little bit after couldn't have got past, but that seems to have stabilised. He had a good lap last time round and has extended that gap slightly as Darren King runs a little wide on the entry going up the hill through Rahal.
Standout performance for me, Darren King.
I think so, yeah.
Considering everything that's gone on. Yeah, very well done. Obviously, Black Goldsaw's journey to 3rd place, if he didn't have those penalties, would have been fantastic, but, you know, is what it is. And the other performance, I think, really, Kieran Prendergast doing very, very well being up there and staying there. So yeah, very well-deserved position for him. So we'll see if he can hold on to that with a very feisty Vulcan, who, to be fair to him as well, has kept his nose clean all race and has always been around this 7th, 8th kind of position. Oh, blimey! As Darren King, that was late braking and a half. He licked that stamp and it only got sent in yesterday's post, Jay.
I don't think he realised he was licking a stamp. He just that little bit late. Or Volk was a little early on the brakes. Just caught both of them out there, and they both did a good job to avoid, as did Just Parrick on the back. But that's allowed Just Parrick to close right up along with Harry Phillips, and we have a foursome again between these guys.
Oh, lovely.
And,
fantastic stuff. We're going. I'm actually watching toe-to-toe with Luke Whitehead and Angel. They are 2/10 away, so I didn't want to lose any kind of interesting stuff going on there. But yeah, you're right, we do have a little gaggle here that have got very close. Phillips has closed the gap onto the back of Perrick, who's also closed the gap onto the back of Darren King because of Darren King's excursions into turn 2, which is very interesting to see. I think we might see some skirmishes going on between these boys before the race is out, as Harry Phillips looks to look past Just Perrick. Not going to happen into 10. He'll have to keep an eye on those mirrors. I think the Estonian driver in car number 7 is going to be sweating profusely, Jay.
Yeah, he's going to be helped out by the slipstream, but will definitely come under threat from that Honda if he wasn't assisted in that way. He's looking to the outside, maybe not the best move. Harry Phillips thinks better of it. And yeah, you can see, it always amazes me, you see how different lines all 4 of them took. They're all about half a meter. Yeah, they're all about half a meter off each other. 3 different cars in this 4-car battle, 4 completely different drivers, 4 slightly different lines, all with the same result out of the corner.
I was going to say, I wonder if Luke Whitehead's had a moment. He's dropped back a couple of tenths from Angel. Oh my goodness gracious me, that man sideways coming out of turn 10, or turn 9, sorry, going into turn 10. Absolutely on the limit of that tyre. I definitely would not be pushing the rear end of that Porsche if that was me, but that's what settles us from the mere aliens that we're watching today. Absolutely fantastic stuff. But yeah, the race that we should be watching is back here with Darren King, Just Perrick, Phillips and Vulcan. Vulcan, though, I feel it would be robbed here if he loses that position, because he's been driving absolutely brilliantly today. Hasn't put a foot wrong. Lovely looking car with that livery. But yeah, Darren King is pushing to try and get past. Bit of a strange start for Darren King, though, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he... we saw the tail end of it. I think it was Black Goldsaw rejoining after the corkscrew that put him a bit out of shape and put him a bit further back, but he's recovered really well since then. He's taken every opportunity from people having issues in that top 10, and you have to say his pace is every bit as good as the Porsches and the Hondas around him. At the moment, just one more position maybe up for grabs for him. But as you say, Vulcan has driven incredibly well. And when others have lost their head in that top 10, he's not. As you say, is Kieran Prendergast, who's off into the distance now. Actually, 2 seconds up the road from this battle. So it looks to have that 7th place wrapped up. And, yeah, I mean, from what I've seen of Luke Whitehead pushing, I feel like he's not taking it easy. If he was taking it easy, he'd be a couple of seconds back. He's really kept that pressure on, and I think it's actually more of a impressive performance from Angel to keep him behind him than it is from Luke Whitehead not necessarily going for that move because of the championship. They really have been going at each other, and the fact they're now nearly 13 seconds clear of that goal sort of shows that.
I mean, there is a few things we need to discuss, actually, this race, Jay. It's the possibility of Luke Whitehead closing out the championship. Now, is it actually mathematically possible for that to happen? 88 points at the moment for Luke Whitehead for where he is. I think it's 88. Let's just have a look.
It is, yeah.
88 points for the position that he's at the moment. I'm literally getting a calculator. 349 plus the 88 points will put him in 437. Black Goldsaw, where he is at the moment, he's not going to get anywhere near those points. 10 seconds going to drop him down. Who else is near him?
He'll be 6th at the moment.
He'll be 6th. See how many points you get for 6th place. You get 59 points. Black Goldsaw then with 287 points. 287 plus 59. He's, 287 plus 59. Maths. 346 points. This is going to be...
What would that gap be?
So 346, remember that number. That's where Black Gold Sword will be going. We got 349 plus 88 if he stays where he is. 439. Sorry, 437.
I already forgot the number.
Are you serious? Okay, remember 437.
Sorry, I was watching the battle
It's okay.
that's in front of me on screen. I can't help it.
437. This is what Luke Whitehead will be on if you.
I remember that one. I'll remember
where
that
he
one.
is.
Got
Okay.
it. I'm on board now.
Sword currently is 287 plus. Let's have a look because you think he's going to be 6th. That would be 59 points plus 59. 346.
437.
437.
I did a thing.
Thank you very much. 91 point difference. So technically,
That is victory. That would be it because only an 88 point swing is available.
no, there's 100 points for win. So
I
Luke
guess
Whitehead,
DNF, yeah.
would have to DNF in the last race, and that's saying that he gets 88 points. Let's say he actually gets the win. So
Yeah, it wouldn't be over. Put it that way. So if he won, it would be over. Yeah, because it'd be over 100 points.
yeah, it would be. So it'll be 101 points, won't it? So if Luke Whitehead does this now,
Is he near Discord somewhere? Let's go to him. He might not know.
if he wins, this is championship wrapped up, signed, sealed, delivered. I'm pretty sure. Maths. Someone help
If
me
Black
out.
Gold Sword, yeah, is 5th, which, to be honest, Hubert's getting closer. Sorry, Kun's getting close. It's going to be close. But yeah, I think he's still currently 6th. If he drops an extra position, someone will do the maths for us, Rage. It's never been our strong suit.
Help us, please. I'm calling all of the boys in the coordinator channel. Do the maths, please. We need help. We can only shout. We can't use calculators at the same time. I think if Luke Whitehead...
Oh, that was late.
It's a bad miss. Who was that with?
It's Harry Phillips looking to make a move on Just Parrott. Just Parrott covered the line to the inside very late on. He went a bit too deep into turn 1, which gave Phillips a run around the inside. But Just Parrott's just about managed to hold on. Just a very late movement in the entry to the corner. Had me oohing and ahhing a little bit, but it's still status quo.
Yeah, we just caught the end of that. We replayed it, still caught the end of it, never mind. Harry Phillips looking to try and get past Just Parrott. Not quite doing it at the moment. People saying great work on the DDoS attack. Yeah, exactly. Fantastic stuff. That's what we want. Good work. Well done, boys. Yeah, I think Luke Whitehead is actually... I think he's actually given in. I think he's actually thought, you know what, second's good enough. I don't have it today. I don't have the lick on Angel. It's not worth it. I'll settle for second. I'll come back next week and finish it off.
I think that's a sign of us being right in terms of correcting ourselves 10 minutes ago. I think he really has been pushing.
Yeah.
I don't think he's been sitting there. He's been giving it everything, and that's a sign of take a deep breath, because if we keep pushing at this rate, I could make a mistake, and that's not what he wants.
No.
And Angel's just been bulletproof for 58 minutes, just 2.5 minutes to go for his first win in AOR, his first top 10 of the season in what is his first year in AOR Tier 1. And it would be a truly well-deserved victory if he can hold on.
Nissan says, when is it too soon for DDoS jokes? It's never too soon. Fire away, literally.
As long as it's not affecting AOR, it's never too soon.
It's never too soon. With 2 minutes to go. Go for it. We've got some more penalties coming a little bit further down. We might go through those. I wonder what the penalty was, if anything, was given to car's number... Whereabouts is it? Trevor Wenham, so 33, if he actually did get it. Yes, he did. 25-second time penalty. Obviously, he's finished now. Anyway, third for car 33. Rejoin resulting in heavy damage. 2 licence points for that insane, unfortunate rejoin for Trevor Wenham. Nobody likes to see a rejoin like that, and least of all him. I think he'll be probably pretty destroyed. Never mind. Did Kun take out one for the Honda? I'm not too sure. Was I seeing things?
Kun's been in a few battles today. I don't think I've seen him hit a Honda yet, unless that's something they've seen whilst we've been chatting about terrible maths. Just Barrett makes a very late move on Darren King. Too late, in fact. Darren King saw that coming. He's far too wise to allow that to happen. Cut back underneath him, but Just Parrot will try down the inside again. Just about keeps his nose out of it.
Fantastic
They
race
stay
here,
as
isn't
they
it?
are, but it's definitely not done in what I think might be the final lap here.
45
the
seconds
leaders-
to go. Where is Angel?
Oh no, they're so far ahead, they're coming through the final corner. There will be one more.
One more after
Crucially, there are a couple of battling McLarens up ahead. I don't think
Never
they'll
good.
get involved in this battle, but they are battling each other, Marco Yonkers and Daniel Navas.
Final lap confirmed. We've got one more to go, Jay. Final lap confirmed as we stay with this battle for the top 10 that involves Just Parrot. Harry Phillips on board with Phillips at the moment, trying to work his way around Darren King and Just Parrot. Darren King, the absolute battle axe today, holding on to 10th place quite heroically. That Honda's been on the grass more than anyone I've seen, actually, of Harry Phillips.
That's late. There is contact.
What's gone on?
What you were watching, Harry Phillips went into the back of Just Parrot.
I didn't see it. I think that might have been a bit of desync there, my friend.
Oh, well, there was definitely contacts. Just Parrot's car went straight on because of the contacts. That's why there's a little gap ahead of Parrot to Darren King now. Harry Phillips just a tiny bit too late on the brakes.
We'll keep an eye on what's going on there. Don't want to miss the end of this little race for these boys. We've met the gaggle of McLarens, Jay, and they are getting ish out the way. Yonkers actually, causing issues here for Angel. Hopefully this doesn't form the end of the race, but they're not getting out the way for the leader, and the gap is almost evaporated between him and Luke Whitehead. This could be a race to the line here. Luke Whitehead getting on the loud pedal, very close for a run for the end. Another lap there, and I think Angel could have been under a real threat, but he does come across the line and claim his first win for AOR. Fantastic stuff there. Luke Whitehead coming across the line in second place. Black Goldsaw all alone in third, but he will drop far, far down. Let's go on board with this fight that seems to be going on forever, Jay. Anything changed?
No, they've closed back up to each other, but nobody's made a dive just yet. Just Parrot will be very good onto the brakes into the final corner in that Porsche, but it looks a little too far back to really try it. Harry Phillips, if he can get a better run, might have the horsepower across the line, but he doesn't, and that's a brilliant job from Darren King, to be fair, in that BMW. Oh, that's Parrot very early on the brakes there. They were through the line.
Before we forget, Simonensky 5th, Kuhn in 6th, Prendergast in 7th. Fantastic job for him. Kuhn managing to get past the Honda. That might be what people were talking about, but things might change a little bit later on. Then we've got the likes of what we just saw, Darren King, Parek, Phillips, Merlers, Oliars coming across the line, Petrochenko 13th, Chassé there in 14th, Barrier and Jardier coming through in 15th and 16th. Connor Wright coming across the line there with Gert Fischer behind. Samir Foch, what's happened to him? Disastrous race for Samir today. And then I think we're going a little bit further back with the likes of Naves and Yonkers. They've had a little bit of a disaster today as well, coming across the line, and that is it. We were very close, I think. Very close to an attack of some kind. You can see it in the chat.
From what I can see, yes.
There was obviously, I'm not going to give them the airtime, actually, to be honest, because it's probably naughty. I'll actually just close that off there, boys. So, yeah, sorry about that, but I think that was an attempt there, but it was thwarted by the boys.
Brilliant job.
Who are you waiting for? The server to crash, Heiko.
Working in the back end there.
Yep, Scooter, apparently, well done, buddy. You managed to thwart that, so good stuff. Insane job of keeping the server alive. Brilliant. But was it as brilliant as the top guys we saw today? Fantastic race from Angel and Luke Whitehead. And Leon managed, I think, to get the third place. Black Gold Sword demoted down to 5th. So the race is still definitely on, Jay, I think. With that last battle, we'll have to see when all of the bits and pieces sort them out behind the scenes. We will keep an eye on that, but we are about to get a live story from the live story Luke himself. So we'll keep an eye on that and see if we can get some of the top boys in for a little chat after the race.
Yeah, absolutely. Black Gold Sword, I think, with his late pace, just got him an extra position there with the penalty. So yeah, P5 plays P2, means it will almost certainly go to the final race, where it will definitely be advantage Luke, but still mathematically possible for Black Gold Sword. And well, he's just going to have to get punchy, isn't he? Can't let Luke rest in that final race. But yeah, great shout out to Leon, who took advantage of the pace of the Honda around here. Was best of those Hondas to get a well-deserved podium.
Yep, first podium, I think.
Just going to say, have you checked that?
I'm pretty sure. I've never seen him up there myself, and he's a new driver with us. So unless he started, sorry, go on.
Best of 13th at Barfirst and first season in Tier 1. So yeah, first time with some silverware.
Nice, very nicely done. Do stay with us, boys. We're gonna have a little chat with some of the other boys. Hopefully they come on. NSX on the podium. I mean, fantastic. We did have some answers about the bits and pieces. If Luke wins, Black would only have to come 5th, theoretically to keep the championship alive. Very much rely on the word theoretically within all that, because I think it's going to be very hard for anyone to change the lineup that we have at the moment of Luke running away. But we will keep an eye on what happens there as we wait for some of the guys to just, decompress, have a glass of Joe before they jump into the comms box. We do want to have a chat with these boys.
Glass of Joe.
Cup of Joe, yeah.
I was going to say a cup of Joe. Also, it's quite late for that, but
never too late for a cup of Joe, mate.
Normally in a mug or a cup. Well, if they're posh, maybe you can get a posh coffee.
Posh cup of
So
Joe.
you're British, good man. You can't be saying cup of Joe.
Cup of Joe, mate. Cup of Joe. Did you not know me? I'm ever the international man of mystery.
We will shoot you, don't you know?
There was a video posted by Black Gold Saw, him absolutely yeeting oh dear. Okay, we won't play that. That's horrific. Some very bad desync going through the corkscrew in his practice laps. Anyway, let's see if we can hear from the guys. I've got no one in the comms box. We can't keep this alive forever. I think they were battling DDoS attacks throughout a lot of that,
Luke said he can't find his mic.
He physically can't find his mic. Well, he can come and, where's he?
Yes.
Where did he say?
He can come and what?
He can, sign if he wants. If he shouts loud enough, he must be in the UK. We probably had to hear him.
Yeah. Well, of course, being in the UK, we've all still got Morse code linked up because it's built into the houses.
We've got the winner in the interview box. Let's have a little chat. Well, welcome to the final area of the weekend. You join us in the comms box. Now, before we get into it, is it Angel? Are we getting it right?
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
Are? Perfect. And then the surname. Go on, just school us with our crappy British tongues.
Sorry, what did you say?
The surname. How do you pronounce?
Inostrosa.
Oh, fantastic! Said like a true racing driver as well. Angel,
yeah,
cracking race. You just commanded the lead from the get-go. Fantastic start, keeping Luke aside there, and then holding on to it for so long. Do you think Luke was really putting on the pressure, or do you think he was maybe sitting back, seeing what happened, or did you feel it the whole race?
No, he was absolutely putting pressure the whole race. I mean, he was trying to overtake me after the corkscrew.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was closing the door and trying to keep the lead. And yeah, it's really hard to keep the pressure. I mean, he's a really good, fast driver. He's a pro driver. I'm quite new to ACC, so yeah, it was really hard to keep his pressure.
I mean, humble as always, mate. I mean, it was a fantastic race. Jay, anything to jump in?
No, just obviously to put up with that pressure for as long as you could. We could tell Luke was pushing from the weight that he let up at the end there. He had a couple of little sniffs, but you really didn't put a foot wrong. You come over from GT Sport, is that right? Over to ACC.
Exactly, yes.
And how are you finding that transition?
Well, it's different in some ways, but what I find most difficult here is the setup thing, because in GT or iRacing, for example, you have fixed setups, and yeah, here on ACC you have to learn everything about the car, the car you're using, and that takes a lot of time. And yeah, the driving might be some different in some ways, but anyway, if you know how to be fast on one simulator, I think you will be competitive on every other simulator.
I mean, you've just proved that absolutely coming in.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Obviously, there's obviously that learning process that you're talking about, and you're right. There's huge nuances to the setups in ACC, but by far your best result of this season. Was there something that suddenly clicked for you this time? Was it the Porsche at Laguna Seca, or a track that you particularly liked? What was the difference today?
Well, I think I found a good setup. Well, actually, I didn't have too much preparation because I had the SRO on this Saturday. So yeah, anyway, I tried to make a good setup, and actually, yeah, this track, I really love this track. On GT, I'm always trying to make some races here, and yeah, I think that was one of the factors that helped me to get the win here.
I mean, you came off a very good result. Not only was it yesterday in SRO,
yeah, exactly.
I mean,
on Saturday, yes.
Obviously, you've got Luke Whitehead for company there. Only a couple of places up ahead, but mate, fantastic job. You held him off. When you've got the number 2 in your mirror, when you've got Ripper in the old lit up thing, you know that there's always going to be fireworks. But I mean, I couldn't fault the drive. There was no mistakes, none whatsoever. Maybe once or twice wide somewhere, but you just always had the exit spot on. Like fantastic, as Jay say, coming over from another platform or another sim, it takes time. Obviously, I know it's a very good track to be on. This one, it's a good track for the car, but still, fantastic result. We've seen you up there inside the top 10 a few times, so yeah, keep going, mate. It's one to look forward to, and getting your first wing under your wing in AOR is always an achievement. So congrats, well done.
Yeah, thank you, and see you on the next race.
Yeah, one more to go. Imola, how do you fancy your chances?
Imola, well, we don't have that track on GT, but I'm gonna try.
I mean, give it a go. You're up 14 places in the standings because of that win there. Fantastic job.
Okay.
Gave yourself 100 points.
That's great.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. So pop you right up there. Your best result, I think, P14 last time out, but you're progressively getting better and better, which is what you want to see. And then a win just out of nowhere. But still, it wasn't out of nowhere because it was qualifying, P1, win. You never put a foot wrong. You never really lost that top spot. So fantastic job, and we hope to see you up here more often.
Yeah, sure, absolutely, and congrats to Whitehead for the podium.
Well, you can say it to him. Absolutely. He's in here.
Thank you very much.
We're going to be here for a while. Luke just joined us. Get a cup of coffee, guys. We're going to be on for the long haul. Life story. Luke has joined the comms box.
It's rude. I've just joined. I'm already catching flack. I can't be doing this, man.
I mean, Angel, fantastic job. Thanks for jumping in. We appreciate it. Hopefully, it's the first of many.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thanks to you guys.
No problem at all. Luke, we did start off speaking with Angel, and we're asking, were you pushing? Were you trying to get past, or was it just a reserved drive to keep the championship alive? Because, look, I'm not going to lie. Me and Jay said at the beginning, it's normally one off, one on for you, and it has been for a while, but you managed to change that around today.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the result, yes. In terms of my performance, no. I mean, in quali, I was up by 2/10 and then spun, which was fun. Typical me in quali at the moment. It's something I really need to work on, which is, I mean, it's a good thing. At least I know where I'm kind of crap. But yeah, I mean, yeah, like I should have been a lot quicker in quali, and then obviously this track, it's impossible to overtake. And obviously I was trying a little bit, but obviously being a little bit conservative because I think Black Goldsaw had a bit of a mare at the start. He went for he tried gaining back positions, and then I think he just spinaled. I don't really know what happened, but I was kind of like, I don't want that to happen, but at the same time I wanted to get the win because I knew that if I got the win and Goldsaw finished where he did, it would have been the championship in the bag with a round to go. So unfortunately that's not the case, which is annoying. But at least I know where to improve next time. I mean, Angel drove a faultless race, so congrats to him. He's been on the rise for a bit, and it's great to see another guy up the front, especially of his caliber already, with all he's achieved in Gran Turismo Sport. It's great to see someone make the move and be up the front. The more the merrier, I always say. So.
I mean, go on. That's fine.
You say that's annoying. I find it even more annoying that it took me and Rage 5 minutes to work out where Black Goldsaw needs to be. You're driving and putting him under pressure, and you already had that in your head.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I mean, I'm good at maths, so I was kind of like
newsflash.
I knew that P5 got a certain amount of points. I can't actually remember what that points is now. It's 65, I think, for P5, and I knew that P1 gets 100, so I knew that with that I'd get 35 more, which actually I don't even think would have clinched it. I had 62 ahead plus 35. No, it would have been 3 points off, so it wouldn't even mattered even if I had won, but it would have made it slightly easier because it would have meant that Black Gold still needs to win the final round at Imola in the Porsche against Bentleys and BMWs, which is borderline impossible. So I mean, it's disappointing because, again, as I said, I know I could have done a lot better and I really should have done, but yeah, I mean, I can't complain. P2 still not it's not an awful result for me.
I think that result shows more about how Angel was driving than a disappointment for you. You both put on a great show. You were so far clear of the rest of the top 10. It just showed how much you were pushing each other, and it was great to watch. So I wouldn't feel too disappointed by that.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, this track, if you don't qualify pole, you're not going to win unless the guy in front makes a mistake. And obviously, Angel, I assume, wasn't pushing at times, and he didn't make any mistakes, unfortunately. So, I mean, I think on the scale of things, I had the upper hand in terms of pace, but it meant nothing. It meant absolutely nothing. As I said, Angel drove a faultless race, so disappointed not to come out on top. But again, he drove great and he deserves it. So I'm happy for him.
You definitely tried though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
There was a chance there at the very end through, I think it was turn 3. You gave it a go, woof, but it didn't turn out.
Yeah, I poked my nose up the inside a few times, but the issue is that with the Porsche and the Concertina, especially around here, it's so difficult to get a run on anyone. And like Angel could just stop it on the apex and just accelerate away every single time, and that's exactly what he did. He placed his car played his cards right, and unfortunately I didn't have any to counter it, so it was my hand was out, so to speak. So onwards and upwards. I know I generally go pretty well at Imola, but we'll see.
Well, best of luck, mate. Obviously, it's yours to lose, which I don't think was going to happen, mate. I think you're going to come.
Don't say that. Don't say that. No, because you know how this works. I said to you earlier in the week, don't jinx me. You're trying your absolute best. Like, give it a rest, right?
Don't get me wrong.
I feel last to first challenge coming up. You've got to make it interesting.
No,
you could do it, Luke.
Okay, if I was in the M4, I would do it. But I'm not, so I'm not going to.
No, you want that championship.
Ask Dalking. Ask Dalking to do it. Ask Dalking.
Maybe we'll give it a go.
He's in the OP Bimmer, so he should have no problems.
We'll give it a go. See what he says. But mate, we have been Team Luke. Don't get it wrong. We've been really cheering you on this season because it's not the first time you've been up to the top. Obviously, we know how fast you are, but this is the first time it's all come together. I'm
glad someone's on my side.
We definitely are Team Luke. So don't you worry about it. Don't get it twisted. We're definitely up there for Team Luke Whitehead. But hey, mate, you're running away. It's like I say, it's going to be a tough old task for someone else. I think it's only BGS that can do it now. So we'll wait for next week, mate, before the silverware gets finally held out and you get to take home some socks.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I'm running out of socks, actually. It's funny.
They're good socks. They are good socks. They're very.
My
good
dog
socks.
just has a habit of biting holes in them, which is great. So
you don't want to bite holes in this one. They're rubber lined on the soles. They're fantastic for braking. Not that you need it, but anyway, they're good. They're very good. Thanks again, Luke. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys. It's been a pleasure.
Title, hopefully.
Fingers crossed. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Brilliant job, mate.
Well, and then we'll end it on congratulations on stopping the absolute rubbish that went on with the DDoS attacks. So hats off to all the coordinators that made that happen. Well, one more to go, Jay. One more week, and we can finally crown Luke Whitehead the champion, because it's probably going to happen. But we'll see. Crazier things have happened. Oh, when was it? Was it? I think George Boothby had a hardware issue at Misano last season that could have possibly taken away his championship. So stranger things have happened, Jay.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you hit the nail on the head there. There are going to be a lot of cars that are going to be very strong around there that aren't a Porsche, which makes it easy and difficult in equal measure because it's going to put him back in the pack. But it's also going to put his main championship rival Black Gold still back in the pack as well. By how much? I still feel they're going to be quick around there, even if the Bimmer and the Bentley are fast. But I think it's going to be a great race regardless because we're going to see some familiar names back at the front with those cars that are so strong around there. So looking forward to it as a race, and hopefully Luke can do the business. But.
Yeah.
Not too efficiently. We'd like it to stay open a little bit.
We want a challenge. But hey ho, you can join us next week for that. Same time, same place, 7:30 on a Monday. But tomorrow you can join us for the second round of Tier 2. We've still got a battle going on. It's very close actually at the top. 300. It's better than this season. 324 points between Daniel Paschke. He's been right up there the whole time, and Christos Podens in second place. 302 points for him. Then we got Dominique Koroshevian, I think that is, in third place. And then Elisio Miles in fourth with 233. I mean, it's anyone's game between the top two, I think, could probably run away with that. But, if something crazy happens, then, yeah, Remy Papin might win. Who knows? Join us tomorrow at 7:30 for that. I think you've got Tetradax to go through the comms with you. So do join us if you want to watch what goes on in Tier 2. Well, that's enough for me and Jay for now. We'll see you next week. Anything to end on, Jay?
No, roll on, Imla. Thank you, everybody, for joining.
Yep. See you soon.
And I echo your shout out to the tech-minded people that have done what KUNOS haven't so far.
I mean,
round of applause to them.
I've had a hard time in the chat as well today, so I think it's been hard times all year round. But anyway, we'll catch you next week, boys. Ciao.